Hi, this is Tim with TM Media, and I wanted to talk about one of the most popular questions I get asked, and I've been asked since I've been in this industry, is how much do you charge and how do you set your prices? That's probably the toughest question from any designer. In fact, when I was getting into the design industry, it was a constant question. How much do I charge for this? How much do I charge for that? What about this project? What about that project? So I'm going to basically go through my thought process when I deal with a client, and kind of and hopefully that will help you apply it to your business. Now, for one of the common questions I also get asked is not just overall pricing, but hourly rates. What's your hourly rate? And that can depend on a lot of things. Now, that brings me probably to my first category. Is, well, there's a few categories you got to think about when you're dealing with pricing a client's job. One thing you have to figure out is who you're dealing with. Are you dealing with, and when I say that, are you dealing with IBM corporate, or are you dealing with a big TV studio, TV studio like Universal, Fox, anything like that, or are we talking a mid-sized company, some technology company, locally, nationally, whatever it may be, or are we talking mom and pop's restaurant down the street? That's one thing you got to find out, who you're dealing with, because right then, when you get an idea, that will give you an idea of the value of the project. Are we talking a corporate annual IBM annual report for an IBM corporate convention, or are we talking a Chinese takeout menu for a local restaurant down the street? That's one thing you got to find out on who you're dealing with, and talk to them a little bit, and just really learn about. You'll also get a little bit more details on the project as well. Learn about their company. You'll get a feel of how big or how small they are. The details of the project I usually handle. I get into a little bit of the details of the project, but not too much. Because what I want to do is I also want to talk about budget fairly soon. Within the first 5 to 10 minutes, I want to talk about money. And I know a lot of designers out there are very intimidated on talking about even touching that subject, but you got to deal with it, because that's going to save you so much time. You could sit here and spend 3 hours on the call with the person, and then find out at the end that this person has $50 in their pocket to spend. So that's what you have to find out. So what I'm trying to do is when I talk about budget with them, and a lot of clients are very hesitant to talk about budget, so it's not it is a tough subject to talk about. But if you're dealing with a larger company, they have marketing directors, it's usually a common question for them, and they usually don't mind sharing it. If you're dealing with a smaller company who's never dealt with a design firm, you might have a hard time getting out of them. So what I usually do is, number one, the reason I'm asking about budget again is I'm first of all trying to find out if this client's realistic and has a sense of the value of some of this material we're going to be hopefully producing. And it also gives me an idea of their expectations. If I've had clients ask me to do a business card, and they gave me their budget, I was thinking maybe a few $100s for designing a simple business card, and they gave me the budget. It was like $5,000, and I said, okay, then I guess this person wants to spend a lot of time on his stationery. So that's another. I mean, you got to really get an idea, get an idea of their budget, because that it is definitely going to give you a clue to what type of project you're looking at. Another thing you have to consider is your own expertise. I mean, how long have you been in the business? Are you a freelance designer? Are you a established design firm? And gauge that to basically your hourly rate. And again, there are many books out there that will help you identify your overhead and try to estimate a cost for an hourly rate. A lot of firms just and designers really don't go through that process on really itemizing every single little thing. But you do have to have a general sense of your expenses, so that is helpful. So once you come up with an hourly rate, and give you an idea of hourly rates, just in designers and design firms. Hourly rate can be for the person hitting the road, hitting the pavement for the first time, getting out there. Once they get their name out there, you could be looking at anywhere from $15 to $35 an hour. Just to give you now, that's just a rough average. Could be up, could be down, wherever it may be. But if you're aggressive and you really want work and you want more work coming in the door, I would probably start in that range. If you're a professional, you've been out there, anywhere from, I would say, $20 to probably $50 and up as a freelance designer. If you're a design firm, you could be anywhere from $75 to about $150 to $200 an hour, depending on what you're doing. So keep that in mind. That's what I'm talking about when I talk about your expertise. So kind of have an idea. That kind of gives you an idea about that. Now what I do is I talk about the details of the project and get some information from them. Once I have established a budget, now I want some more details of the project. I've profiled the budget. I've seen that they are realistic. If I've seen that they are realistic and they do have a somewhat adequate budget, then I continue and get more details of the project. Find out what they're doing. If they're doing a brochure, great. Get how many photographs go to the brochure. Are they supplying the photographs? Are they supplying the copywriting for it? Are we going to need to do the copywriting? All that kind of stuff. So that basically should give you a sense of the pricing. And how I price people is, the first thing I usually do is I give them a rough range, usually just over the phone, without giving them an estimate. I kind of give them, okay, this may cost you anywhere from whatever, $1,500 to $2,000, or $1,500 to $3,000. Give them if you need to give them a rough range, give them a rough range. You'll know a lot of clients out there are just price shopping. They're not even. I've had marketing directors call me and they're just. It seems like they're just price shopping and they really haven't even discussed the details of a project. They don't even know what they're wanting. So it's right then and there. It's really tough to give them an estimate. Period. So why waste your time with it? I would give them a rough range, give them an idea of what you charge, and then have them get back to you, basically. So keep that in mind. That's pretty much it. I hope that I hope I covered all I could. If you have questions, just respond to this email. Just respond on the YouTube here, and I'll try to answer your questions. Hope this helped. Thanks.